Hi guys, welcome back to Rock Fabulous 40s, and my lighting might be a little bit off. I've been playing around with it. It seems like when I do record, it looks okay to me in the camera. It looks okay when I'm editing, but then when I actually go to upload it to YouTube, for some reason it looks kind of dark or orangey, and I can't quite figure out why it's doing that. So I've been playing around with my lighting a little bit, so I'm really sorry if this seems a little off. It might seem better. I don't know. I won't know until I try to upload it. Anyways, today's video I want to talk about new products from the drugstore. Now, I haven't bought every single new product from the drugstore, but I have bought quite a few. And the products that I'm going to focus on today are the ones from Milani and Wet and Wild. Now, I didn't buy all the new Milani and Wet and Wild products that came out, but I did buy quite a few of them. And I have gone through a couple of weeks of testing and wearing and just seeing how they do. So I just wanted to kind of give you guys, well, as I give you guys the rundown or show you guys the haul of these drugstore products, I want to give you the rundown of what I thought about these products and how they actually performed for me. Now, I am wearing quite a few of the products today, and where I have demos to actually throw in, I'll throw in the demos so you guys can actually see what the application of those products look like. Alright, so the first few things I want to talk about are the new Milani products that I picked up, and I want to talk about, as I'm looking over here, all my stuff is over here on the side, so if you guys see me looking over here on the side, it's because I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to pick up next or what I'm going to grab next. So I have 4 things from Milani that I picked up, and the first thing that I want to talk about was one of the ones that I was like really excited about to see, and it is this one called the Face and Eye Strobe Palette, this guy right here. I have used him a lot. I have used him almost every single day for almost a week. Now, when I saw him at my local Walgreens, and the shade that I have is called Candlelight. Now, they had another one, they have 2 shades that I saw at Walgreens. They have another one that's a little bit more, I want to say warm than this one, and you'll see that this has got like 3 tones of shades in here. You have kind of a pinky blush, then you have kind of a bronzy type shade, and then you have up here a highlight type shade. These are very soft, very, very smooth, I'm not going to lie, they are very nice feeling products. Let me swatch these guys out for you here. And the highlight is, I mean, look at that. That is just a gorgeous highlight. I mean, that is just like shine for days. The bronzer shade is really, really pretty. Now, I can't wear it necessarily as a highlight because it is a little too dark, but for your darker complected people, you would be able to get away with this for a highlight. It does have a really nice, pretty sheen to it. I can use it as kind of like maybe a topper to some of the areas that I bronze a little bit that I want a little bit more sheen to, and that looks okay. The blush shade, or the kind of pinky shade here, this little guy right there, he is a gorgeous, gorgeous blush shade. And I actually can wear him as a blush or as a blush topper. My problem with this is for a drugstore product, it was $13. Okay, so $13 for a highlighter from the drugstore, I don't know. And the performance, even though the shadows, even though the powders feel really nice and really soft and really silky, you have to be really careful. You ladies out there that are around my age, or you have more mature skin where you have issues with pores or fine lines, you really have to be careful with this because, I mean, I've used a lot of highlighters, but this particular one tends to accentuate all the fine lines and pores. So if you're gonna wear this, you want to really specifically pinpoint it to specific areas and keep it out of the pores and the fine lines, or they're gonna stand out like crazy. So, you know, for it to be an okay product, or something that I just have to specifically pinpoint, or something that makes my pores accentuate, my lines accentuate, $13 is quite pricey for this, and so that kind of gave me a little bit of sticker shock. So with this product, I'm just going to say it's okay. Do I need to run out or tell you guys to run out and buy it? No, it's just okay. All right, the next one I want to talk about is one that I'm going to say is just okay. I'm not really thrilled with it. I'm trying to get like the products I don't like out of the way first, as you guys can tell. I'm not really all that thrilled with it. It's just okay. And that is the Retouch and Erase Concealer, this guy right here. And I have tried to use him in many different ways. As in, I try to use him under my eyes. I try to use him down the bridge of my nose for maybe a highlight. I tried to use him along the top of my cheekbones for a highlight. I've tried to use him to cover, you know, like a blemish or a dark spot on my face. And all I can say is it's just okay. I mean, this is supposed to be a light lifting concealer. What the package says is it says it conceals dark circles, covers spots, blemishes, and imperfections, brightens, and revitalizes. All right, first of all, I'm just going to start by saying the color that I have is 03 medium light. And I'm just going to start by saying that this guy is really, really light. For it being called medium light, I would say this is almost like a porcelain shade. Anyway, you take the lid off, and it's got this little spongy tip applicator here with a little hole out the top that the product comes through. And you just squeeze the applicator, and you guys can see the product comes through there. And you're supposed to be able to take the product in the applicator and put it with the applicator along your under eye. Okay, do you guys see how light that is? That is so, so light for it being light medium. Okay, you're supposed to be able to put that under your under eye. And okay, so I get it under my under eye. The sponge does not do a great job at blending it out, let me tell you. I have to either use my finger or use a beauty blender. That's how I get like the best blend. That's how I get the best blend out of this product. But it's just, the product itself, it doesn't really have a whole lot of coverage. I still have to wear a color corrector under it, so it doesn't completely conceal the dark circles. It is very, very lightweight. Once you get it blended out, you don't really need to set it with powder because it gets dry. It really gets very drying in my opinion. It almost makes me feel like the little fine lines right here around my eyes kind of stand out a little bit more. For it not having a whole lot of coverage and for it really feeling really drying under the under eye, it's just not, it's not my favorite. And this thing was $9. So, you know, I really don't feel that for, again, people that are in my age group that might have a little bit of crepiness under the eyes already or a little bit of texture under the eyes, you're going to want something a little more moisturizing, not something really drying that has very, very little coverage. And for $9, I mean, $9 at the drugstore is just not, to me, not worth it. So that's my thoughts. I'm sorry if any of you guys have tried this and you love this, but it's just not my favorite. All right, moving on to something I really do like from Milani, and this is the Milani Prime Light Face Primer. This guy right here. Now, this guy claims to be a strobing, pore minimizing primer. Now, this really piqued my interest because strobing and pore minimizing is not necessarily something that go together. Normally, if something is strobing, it's going to make the pores stand out more. So I was really actually excited to try this guy. So he is oil-free, and it says you just apply it to clean skin. You can use it alone or under your makeup to extend the wear of your makeup. And I feel it does actually work as well as some of my other primers that I have. I feel it's got I wouldn't say it's got a hydrating property because it doesn't, but I feel that it does make my skin look dewy under just about any foundation that I use, which that I really love. And it makes my skin look dewy under any foundation that I use without the pores being accentuated. Does it minimize the pores? No, I don't feel that it minimizes the pores at all, but it doesn't accentuate them either. And it's just kind of a white primer. And it does give you just a little bit of a glow under whatever foundation you choose to wear. So if you're wanting to maybe brighten up a completely matte foundation, this might be something that you might want to wear under that foundation to make it just look really nice without it accentuating the areas you don't want accentuated. This was also $9.99, and for this primer, I feel that, yeah, he was really, really worth it. And he doesn't have that silicone-y slip feeling to him either. He actually feels like he kind of sinks into the skin quite nicely. So this, for me, was a big hit. So I'm going to use the snot out of him. I really like it. Alright, and then my most favorite product from Milani that just came out is the Milani Make It Last Setting Spray. This says it's Prime, Correct, and Set 16-hour wear, this guy right here. Now, he was also $9.99. He is only 2.03 fluid ounces, okay? So he's not a whole lot. Like if you compare him to, let's say, my MAC Fix Plus, okay? My MAC Fix Plus is 3.4 fluid ounces, so you get almost a whole more ounce in the MAC Fix Plus than you do for this, and this is only like $5 more. So I get this for I think around $16, whereas this was $9.99, $10. So $6 more, I get an ounce more product. They say you can use it as a prime spray. You can put it on before your makeup. You can put it on to, kind of like with the Fix Plus, you can spray it on to kind of reduce the look of the powder or the cakiness, and it really works great for that. And you can use it afterwards as a setting spray. Do I feel that it has 16-hour wear? I'm not really sure about that. I have not actually worn it and gone out dancing or anything like that to see if it wears as well as my Urban Decay All Nighter, which is my favorite setting spray. But I will tell you that it does, from what I could tell, work very nicely. It does set the makeup and reduce the look of the cakiness in the powder. And I can tell you that the mister, and I don't know if you guys can see that, but the mister is just, it just feels so nice and it smells so good. And it's, you know how sometimes with drugstore setting sprays you mist it on your face and it just feels like it just goes and then your whole face is just soaking wet and you have splotches. This doesn't do that. The mist is fine, evenly sprayed out, and it just covers the entire area of the face just so nicely without leaving drips and splotchinesses, and it just smells amazing. So I really like this guy, and I will probably use him all up and go and rebuy him again because so far I'm liking him. So he's a hit in my book. And let's get into the Wet n Wild, and I do have quite a bit of the Wet n Wild products that I picked up. And I'm going to start with the first thing I apply, which is the foundation. They have this new Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation. This guy right here. I am in the color Peach Natural, which is a light medium. They call it a cool toned light medium. So this is supposed to be perfect for cameras and photography. It's not supposed to have any flashback to it. It says that it works, or has been tested under 7 different light conditions. It works with your top smartphone modeled cameras, and it says it works with or without a flash. Now, this does not have SPF in it because SPF does have a flashback when you take pictures and you're wearing an SPF or a foundation with an SPF. It comes in several different shades. So I don't remember exactly how many shades it came in, but when I was on the website there was a wide variety of shades. I'm talking 10 to 15, maybe even more shades than that. Now at Walgreens they only had like 6 shades, but on the Wet n Wild website they had a lot. This was $5.99, which is an amazing price for this guy. When you open him up, he has this little, I don't know if you guys can see here, he has this little spatula here, which is kind of nice because I can put the product on the spatula and then I can put it on my hand and then just distribute it all over my face. I find that he blends really, really well with the Beauty Blender. I've tried to blend him with a Beauty Blender, a brush, and my fingers, and I find he does the best with a Beauty Blender. And I am wearing it today, and I really do like the finish that it gives me. Right now I'm looking in the viewfinder of the camera, and I really actually like this finish. I think it looks nice on the skin. It didn't break down on me throughout the day, which was really nice, but let me get into the cons. Those were all the pros. Let me get into the cons. The cons are that it did seep into the laugh lines right here, so it did kind of seep into the fine lines and wrinkles. So I had a hard time actually keeping it out of the fine lines and wrinkles. A lot of times I can just kind of do like this and blend it back out and then it's fine and it never seeps in there again. I feel that I do have to set this with a powder. I hate wearing powder all over my face. It's just not, when you have fine lines and big pores, powder is just not something you want to wear all over the skin, especially when you have kind of dry skin. So you do really have to set it with a powder. I feel like it made my face feel sticky all day long, which in turn, because my face felt sticky even after powdering all day long, it made me want to touch it all day, which is not good because then my face feels dirty when I do that. So I don't like how it actually made my skin feel when I wore it. I don't like the fact that I had to set it with a powder. I'm probably not going to wear this a whole lot because it's just, it's the feeling. I just didn't like the feeling. And I have very, very dry skin, so you'd think that I would, well, right now in the winter I have dry skin, so you'd think that I would actually kind of like having it be a little more tacky, but it never actually sinks in and becomes one with the skin. So it continues to feel tacky all day, and I just didn't like that. So I mean, it was just okay. All right, the next thing I want to talk about is the concealer. This is the concealer corrector, and this is the Photo Focus concealer corrector that goes along with this foundation. Let me pull it out here. And I am in the color, what color are you? This is medium peach is the color that I have. And this, guys, I like this. This is a nice concealer. I actually feel that, I mean, and the concealer is kind of it's more of a natural coverage, I guess, and I do wear a corrector under it, but I do feel that the concealer, look at how it blends, look at that. I feel that it's moisturizing, but not overly moisturizing. So yes, I do set it a little bit with the powder, just a tiny, tiny bit, and it doesn't creep into the fine lines and wrinkles when I do that. And it just blends so effortlessly into the skin. I was able to blend it with my fingers, with a brush, with a damp sponge. I use my little Real Techniques, I guess they call this the eraser sponge, which I just love this for the under eye. I use this to set it or to blend it, and it did just amazingly. So this concealer is one that I will continue to wear. How much were you, concealer? I believe this concealer was $3.99, and yeah, I am really happy with this. Then I found these Mega Glow highlighting powders, these two guys right here. Now these guys, how much were you guys? Don't remember. These guys were either $3.99 or $4.99. I don't actually quite remember. The two colors I have are Crown of My Canopy. Oh my gosh, I couldn't read. I have Crown of My Canopy, which is kind of a, I want to say, champagne-y bronzy peach. And then I have Precious Petals, which is more of a kind of goldish champagne shade. I'm actually wearing this one today on my cheekbones, down the bridge of my nose, and on my Cupid's bow. This guy is just, look at that, beautiful. Now he is not going to give you just in your face, bam kind of highlight. He is more of a natural highlight, but he is absolutely gorgeous. And for your lighter skin toned people, this is going to look beautiful. This one I think would look beautiful for your darker skin tone people. It's more of a rosy, bronzy type shade, rosy peachy type shade, I guess. Right there. Okay, can you guys see him? And he is beautiful too. And I can't use him as a highlight, but I use him as a blush topper. And these are just absolutely gorgeous. So I've been really, really, really impressed with these. I like these guys. So like I said, I believe they were $3.99, maybe $4.99. These are worth getting if you see these. All right, another new product from Wet n Wild that came out that you guys should really run from. I mean, seriously, run from. It's not good at all. Is this Wet n Wild Mega Cushion Highlighter Illuminator. Okay, this guy right here. They have a bronze one too. I do not remember how much this guy was, but I'm sure he wasn't more than like $3.99, maybe $4.99. Anyway, so I saw him and I thought, oh wow, cool, a cushion highlighter. I've got to try this because I like liquid highlight. This is in the color Who's That Pearl? And when you pop him open, he has this sponge here, and he's got the little lid that you can lift off, and then there's your product. Alright, so you're supposed to be able to take the sponge, dip the sponge into the product, okay, and apply to your skin. I'm applying to the back of my hand here. Yeah, there's like nothing. I mean, nothing really shows up at all. And what I have found is the more that I try to get product to actually show up, the patchier my makeup underneath looks. So putting this product on my skin pulls makeup up off of my skin that I have already applied, and I do not like that. I've tried to use it with the poof. I've tried to use it with my regular brushes, where I dip like my small stipple brush in there from e.l.f. and apply it. I've tried to apply it with my Real Techniques sponges, damp beauty blenders. I've tried with my fingers, and it just does not show on the skin, at least not on my skin. It doesn't show at all. It's just kind of bleh. So for me, this is not worth it. It pulls my makeup off. It's not good. So just run from this guy. He's just not, don't like him at all. All right. Next thing I want to talk about is another one that I'm not real thrilled with from Wet n Wild, and this is their Mega Cushion Soft Matte Lip Cream. This guy right here, and I only bought just this one, and the color doesn't really match me all that well. What color is this? This is Melon Like It Is, and this color is not a great color for me. When I saw it in the tube, I thought, okay, that looks like it's going to be a nice color, but then when I actually tried to apply it, it really wasn't a great color. But I did try to wear it, and it just was not good. This, I believe, was probably $3.99, if I'm not mistaken. So, alright, you take the lid off, you have the spongy tip applicator here. It looks very, very similar to that Milani concealer sponge tip. It's got the little hole there. When I first saw this, I thought, you know what, this is going to be a lot like those Maybelline Color Jolts with the little spongy tip, but it's not. You're supposed to be able to push the product up. Hold on. Okay, you guys, I don't know, can you... Hold on. Try to get it to focus here. Alright, so there's the product. The product is so drying. And it's so patchy, and it's just, it's not good. Here, I'm trying to swatch it for you guys here. Okay, this is it here. I don't, A, like how the sponge tip actually applies the product. B, when the product comes out of the sponge tip, it is a little dry. C, it's very, very patchy, but it is uncomfortable, and it wears off. I don't want to say it flakes off really bad, but it wears off like crazy, and it just does not feel good. So, you know, I'm just not really liking this at all. So it's, I wouldn't say necessarily run. I would just say it's okay. So not my favorite. A couple of more lip products here I want to talk about are these brand new liquid cat suits. I've got 4 of these guys here. Okay, I am wearing the one in Berry Recognize, this guy right here. And I mean, these are okay. They're not the greatest liquid lipsticks, but they're not the worst either. I mean, I've had a liquid lipstick that's been a lot more drying on the lips. Now, granted, I'm not a liquid lipstick fan anyway, but these, I mean, they're not completely transfer proof, but I mean, they're pretty good. The only time they're a little drying, but they're not as drying as most. The only time I really have an issue with them is it feels a little bit uncomfortable on the inner corners of my mouth, if that makes sense. I have a really bad habit of licking my lips, and when I wear these, I have to be really careful not to. But right in the corners, like little saliva builds up right there, and it just gets very, very uncomfortable and starts to feel a little crumbly on the inner corners of the lips. Now these, they are long wearing, but they do wear out kind of in the middle of the lips, if that makes sense, like right in there. They do wear out. How many shades? Do I know how many shades were here? Yeah, I don't remember exactly how many shades of the liquid catsuit they had, but they did have quite a few. They were $3.99 each, and you get, how much product in here? And you get 0.21 ounces of product for that $3.99. So, like I said, they're not horrible. I have had worse liquid lipsticks that were a lot more drying, that were a lot more uncomfortable. These are not quite that bad. They are not completely comfortable, but they're not as bad as some of the higher end liquid lipsticks that I've worn that have just made my lips feel parched and miserable. These aren't that bad. For $3.99, if you guys want to dip your foot into the liquid lipsticks, these are actually pretty good to go with. The lighter shades are a little more patchy than the dark ones. Let me go ahead and swatch these guys for you. Like I said, the one that I'm wearing is called Berry Recognize, this guy right here. Okay, very, very pretty berry color. And then you've got Missy and Fierce, which is a blue-based red. Okay, this guy right here. Then you've got Coral Corruption, which is a corally shade, as you guys couldn't tell by the name Coral Corruption. Okay, right there. This guy is a little patchy. He's gorgeous on the lips, but he does take a lot of building up because he is so patchy. And then there is Give Me Mocha, this guy right here. And this guy is a very pretty kind of mauve-y brown shade right there. Let me show you guys the applicator. I do like the applicators on these. They are a doe foot, but they have kind of a dip right there, which really holds the product well, and it really fits into the groove of the lips. So for $3.99, guys, this is not a bad liquid lip. It is not bad at all. It's just, I'm just not a fan of a liquid lip. So if you guys have never tried liquid lips before, or you want to give this a shot, I mean, for $3.99, you're not, if you don't like it, you're not really out a whole lot. But really, they're not bad. They're not bad. All right, so the next thing I want to talk about, well, the last two things I have that I want to talk about are a couple of my favorites in the line. And the first one is the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Blush Stick. These guys right here. The color I have is Floral Majority. Floral Majority. This guy here. I am wearing it today. He was $3.99, and he's your typical stick that twists up. Now, I have applied him where I just take the stick and draw it on my cheeks, and then I will use my beauty blender and blend it out. I've also used my e.l.f. Small Stipple Brush and applied it using the stipple brush, and that worked pretty well. These are very, very easily blendable. I am so freaking happy with these. I love them. They blend and become like one with the skin and just kind of give you that natural flush. Now, this is the only color that I've tried. I've not tried any of the other colors, but I mean, it's just beautiful. And this one, what I really like about him is when I blend him in, he doesn't just disappear. A lot of the drugstore type blush products that I've tried in the past, when you blend them in, they just kind of disappear. And this one doesn't do that. He's so soft and so smooth. When you blend him in, it doesn't pick up any of the foundation that you might have on underneath. It just blends over the top just beautifully, and just, like I said, becomes one with the skin, and just looks really, really nice. So I am really, really loving this guy. I'm going to go back out and get some more colors of him because I like him. And then the last thing I want to talk about, not quite as exciting, but I love him just as much. And it is these new gel lip liners from Wet n Wild, this right here. And he was, how much was he? I don't remember how much he was. He couldn't have been more than $2.99, I don't think. Anyway, I am wearing him today under my liquid catsuit. And the color I have, what color are you? You are in Plum Together, this guy right here. And this guy, oh my gosh, watch this. See if you guys can, look at that. I am not even barely touching to my skin. I mean, look at that. He goes on, glides on so smooth. He's easily blendable around the lip. He doesn't feather outside the lip line, but look, I can blend him and he doesn't feather, but he spreads nicely, if that makes sense. And he is very, very comfortable on the lips. I like taking him and just applying him all over the lip and then just putting a gloss over the top, and it's just beautiful. But like I said, I am wearing him under the liquid lip today. And I just really like these. So I'm going to go actually back and buy the rest of the colors, because I think this is a lip liner that I'm going to get a lot of use out of. So I'm really excited about this guy. Alright guys, so that is my new products from the drugstore, focusing on Wet n Wild and Milani products. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you found it useful, informative, something. If you did, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. Also guys, you can look me up on my website at www.rockfabulous.online.com. You can look me up on Pinterest, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, Facebook, all under Rock Fabulous 40s. And guys, don't forget to hit subscribe down here somewhere. And you too can rock your Fabulous 40s, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys.